Hi everyone, welcome to Data Appreciation with Shino. And what we're looking at now is a Google Codelab titled Creating Your Own Executive Assistant with ADK, Agent Development Kit. So I had started this Codelab a bit earlier. I was supposed to run it on my Google Cloud console. That's the Google Cloud Shell. But instead I am running it on my terminal. So I'm running on my Mac terminal. So the Code Lab is focused on building a sophisticated AI agent using Google Agent Development Kit, that's ADK. I followed the path starting from the foundational agent, and then what we'll be doing today would be continuing to add the specialized capabilities. So the base agent is the executive assistant designed to help with daily tasks like managing calendar, reminding me of tasks, doing research, and compiling notes, all built from scratch using ADK, Gemini, and Vertex AI. So the requirements for this code lab is Python version 3.12 or higher, a code editor or IDE such as VS Code or Vim. I also have Antigravity running and a terminal to execute Python and gcloud commands. So as I said earlier, I am running my on my Mac terminal, and I am not using the Cloud Shell. So, and it required for us to have Gemini or Antigravity. So we have Antigravity already. Let's open the agent manager, and then we'll start the new folder workspace when we get to that point. So there are links here for you to look at more things about ADK, Vertex AI, the Google Cloud SQL. You can also see PostgreSQL and the Google Calendar API. So there are credits for those who don't have credit. There are credits for this. So the credits are expiring in 4 days. Okay. I had already applied the credits, so it was a 1 week credit. So I applied it 3 days ago. And for those using their Cloud Console, you have to sign up to Google Cloud Console when you are picking up your credits. And remember, the project name is displayed for the project, and the project ID is unique across Google Cloud projects. So remember, your project ID is immutable, and also there's a third value which is our project number. So if you come here, let me minimize this. You can see our project name. You can see our project number, and we can see our project ID. So remember, our project has billing enabled, and for those who are using the Cloud Shell, you enable the Cloud Shell clicking on the triangle which has the greater than and the underscore in front of it, which is also the terminal logo. So here you set environment variables. You enable the required APIs, which are the Google Cloud Services, AI Platform, Calendar JSON, SQL Admin. Also, If you are running the code lab from Cloud Shell, you can skip this step. So I ran from my Mac terminal, so I had to do this authorization for the Google command line interface, that's the GCLI. So here we created the agent, that's the base agent. So we use the bash command make directory adk ea code lab, and we changed our directory to the adk ea code lab. Then we prepare our virtual environment, and then we install the dependencies. So if you are running this, that is this now. If you're running this on your terminal, there's, let me see if I still have it open. Okay, what I just wanted to say there is that if you're running it on your terminal, you may get a not found message or an error message. So you have to use the quotation marks for it to run properly. Just 1 second, let me get to it. Okay, here it is. So this is where it is. So if you look right here, let me increase the size of this. Here it is. So if you're running this now, you're running this, that's the UV add cloud SQL connector. So between cloud and where we have this, we'd have to put a quotation mark for it to run if you're running it on a terminal. So you can see here, you can see ZSH no match is found. So what I had to do was to put I had to learn this from the community. So you have to put the quotation mark here and here for the installation to go through. So next, I did the running the create the executive agent, and when you do that, you will get this prompt. So I picked the Google AI option, and that allowed me to get, okay, so that allowed me to pick, let's go. So you have to get to the Google AI Studio. So let's go to, so once you get to Google AI Studio, you have to pick your API keys, because here you will be asked to put in an API key. Once you choose the Google AI option here, you have to pick an API key from Google AI Studio. So what we did next is interacting. So this runs, once you use the UV run ADK web, you are going to be interacting with your agent. So that's where this come up. So this is my executive assistant agent. So I can now say, hello, can you tell me the current price for naira to dollar exchange? So I think I would increase this font so we can see it much more clearer. Let's see, it should be running. So it's trying as much as possible to get. Oh, I'm getting an error field to fetch. Okay, I shouldn't get that error. So, oh, sorry, I'm not running. You have to run the agent. So it's good to have that error. So let's run it. I was trying out some things and ended the session. So let's go and run our so run go to run this. Oh, just not much. Okay. So I had done something earlier because so we still get our server running. So we go back and check. Let's let's send the message again. Refresh this. Until I copied it. So let's just say hi. Okay. So it's up and running now. So I can now tell it get me the current value for Naira to so it's my executive assistant. So it's Naira to dollar exchange rate. So say it doesn't have access live, but to get the most current, I can recommend checking this. Please know that they are often rate. So let's see if we have. So let's go back and check if so. So I think I can't remember if I have done this part. So I would go and see if here we're going to now see if I had given it this. So let's go back to let's control let's end that and then let's edit our let's say nano agent dot py. Let's see. Okay, so this is the root agent. So we haven't given it what it needs. So that's why. So let's so that's our boilerplate agent. So you can see here that this is our our boilerplate agent. So you can see it here. We just pinned up our boilerplate agent. So what we didn't need to do now is to give it our tags. So let's see. Be sure. Let's do that again. Nano agent UI. Okay, so let's delete what we have here. and then we bring in. So you can use any of the editors for this. So okay. So now we can now save this. So remember, our agent is a professional AI assistant. With the instruction here is you're an elite, warm, and highly efficient AI partner. Your goal is to help user manage tasks, schedule, and research, always direct, concise, and high signal. So I think what we'll do is um let's make it just think of whatever you want as an assistant. It can be in the health, it can be in the finance sector, it can be a travel agent, it can be sports. So let's use something that has to do with. I always want to try to have a mix of something that have to do with a problem solving solution for farmers. So let's just say you're an elite, one highly efficient AI partner, a primary go to help manager, help user manage their tasks, schedule and research on. So let's just say research on. Let's just put it specifically so it knows search on security. Let's put it on security. Always derived. So I think this will work for us. So let's save this. Save it. Yes. Okay. So I think we've saved it. So let's be sure we have it saved. And we'll exit. Yes. So it's saved. So we have it. So now let's run it our agent again, and then it's up and running. Let's go back. Let's refresh. So let's close this. Okay. So up and running. Okay. So let's ask a question. So what is the threat on? What's the threat to business in Nigeria? So, oh, we're having unavailable. So I think a lot of people are using it. So I think we'll continue from that point. So now we're going to add persistent memory on Vertex AI Memory Bank. A trust system must remember preferences and past interactions to provide a seamless, personalized experience. So in this step, we'll integrate Vertex AI Agent's Memory Bank, a Vertex AI feature that dynamically generates long-term memories based on user conversations. Memory Bank allows your agent to create personalized information accessible across multiple sessions, establishing cross-section continuity behind the scenes. It manages the chronological sequence of messages in a session and can use similarity search retrieval to provide the agent with the most relevant memories for the context, that's the current context. Now we're going to initialize memory service. The SDK uses Vertex AI to store and retrieve long-term memories. We must utilize a memory engine in our project. This is essentially a reasoning engine instance configured to act as a memory bank. We're going to create a script as setup memory.py. So let's add this up. Let's copy this. Then we're going to run it to provision the reasoning engine for the memory bank. Let's see. Let's start with this. So first of all, let's end our session. We have not found. Let's see. So let's go with this first client is supposed to. So while working on this, we can call Gemini in. So we can let's call Gemini in. If we have an error message, just call Gemini in. So okay, so let's type a message. I would like to set up. I would like to create the following script. Let's just tell Gemini this. So Gemini will think about it and now says, oh, start by reading the file, read see the any instructions. It's checking our executive assistant folder. So we want to put that in. So checking our main TY for any memory configuration. So let's just copy this first. So please provide the code. So let's provide the code for setup memory. It has seen it. As I said, I pasted text 13 lines and I hit enter. So as you can see, that's my user input. So this is the code. Then it's telling me just created the file with the content. Then I just want to apply this change. So I can tell it yes. Apply this change. I can say allow once, allow for the session. So let's say allow once one. So it has done that for me now. So it has said the setup memory has been created. So it's waiting for my next message. So now I'll now tell it I will want to run this. So let's see what we say. It's now considering institutional requirement. So it's now saying we check the environment for the period ID, check period ID, leave education, allow execution for in. So I said one, yes. Then I knew maybe get an error because of what we had done earlier. So, but it's probably its own job here to solve this problem for us. So now it's reading the Pi project tummy file. So now says it likes to get the current cloud project ID. So get the gcloud config value project. So I said yes, allow once. It has seen it as my project Codelab 01, which is same thing as what we have here. So now it's saying gcloud get value compute region. So I just said allow once get our region to, which is Europe West 2. I set it earlier at the point in time. So now check the UV to see if the package is installed. Found to matches. I will run the setup file script with required environment variables and the location, the project name, and the location. So remember, part of why I had the error was that we didn't put in our project ID, we didn't put in our. So now if we put all of it with this now going, so now go to run it. So we're getting an error message doesn't match the environment, then to use another place. So because I had created subdirectories, so that's why we're getting that message. So, but I think it will solve that for itself. It's not telling us to run the script. So it's now saying tap to focus. So now tab, shift tab to accept edit. This is running. Remember, you have to be reading the messages as it's coming up. So it's now telling us the setup memory file run successfully and produce the following reasoning engine name. So it will give us an engine name. So let's go back here to our Codelab. So you can see it now. This is our output. It's giving us our engine name. So we'll save the engine resource name in the environment variable. So we'll set the resource name above. So let's pick this. So engine ID, we're going to put this now there. So let's just put this first. Let's just pick this part of it. And then we pick this and we hit enter. So it's giving us a message, add the engine ID and export it for the session. So I said, now we need to update the code to use the persistent memory, replace the content of the following. So we're going to now replace the content of agent.py. So I can tell, so I may not need to go to open agent.py myself with Nano just like I did earlier. I can tell Gemini to do that for me. So I will copy this first of all. Let's finish this part. Let's say one. So we're saying the one in red replace it with the one in green. So let's just say one, and it does its own part. Let's finish that first. Since I've updated this and it will export it for this session. So this is the export. So now I was waiting for, okay. So now let's type our next message. The next message is we want to replace the content of agent.py. So I can just tell it I want to replace content of py. So it's more like I'm talking to them. So I'm telling them or talking to it. I want to replace the content of agent.py. So I've told it what I want to do. It will look for agent.py and now tell me where's the content that I want to replace. So it's going to look for agent.py, which is reading already. Now ask me, paste your, which if I remember is what I would copy from here, or I just run it. So I say which of the agent.py. So now I think this is where we're having a challenge. We're having double directory. So So we have the root directory, we have the executive assistant, agent.py. So to be, wow, let's be sure. So let's use the executive assistant because if I come here, let's see which is active. Who's that? Yeah, okay. I think it's this. Let's go back there. So let's just pick number two. So we pasted our content and we hit enter. So it has seen this. Enter to submit. Script cancel. So let's hit enter again. So it said um, I'll replace the content of this with provided code. First 10 light hidden, control 0 to show. So it's saying I will have changes here. So say 1. So the content of this has been updated with new configuration, including memory tools and the user agent callback. Okay, so we've done that part. So now the preload tool automatically injects relevant context from past conversations into each request using similar retrieval. So while the load memory tool allows the model to explicitly query memory bank for facts in the combination gives your agent deep persistent context. Now launch your agent with memory support to pass the memory service while ADK by running ADK web. So we'll go to now copy this. Remember we have our agent engine with our agent ID. It automatically picks our agent. Sorry. Let's delete that. Just wanted to have this. Okay, good. So let's hit enter. It automatically picks our agent engine ID. So it's going to say yes, one. We can use our web interface. So the command move to the background, output is hidden, press Ctrl B to view. So we want to see our output. So let's say Ctrl B. Okay. Okay, so now let's try giving the agents if you fact about yourself, then come back with a different session to ask about them. For example, tell it your name. Okay, so let's try this. Uh, Okay, just talk to Gemini and tell it need a link. See my agent. Okay, so it said read background output. So let's say about once. Because now you're starting the ADK web server with the correctly exported engine ID. So now it's addressing a variable issue. So Gemini is trying to solve a problem. So I think I can see our link already. So you can access the link by clicking the link below. So here's our link. So let's so here's our link for agent. Okay. Can I introduce myself? My name is Shana. I'm having this error message. So having this issue with Spike. So let's give it. I want to bring out like so once you have such errors, you can copy your error messages and then feed them Gemini to tell okay, I'm having this. How can I meet you? Okay, so you can see it remembers what I gave to it earlier. It didn't forget. I say why you having error. Okay. Let's not say why we're here. So actually, what can you do for me? I can say what can you do for me? So we're having a chat now with it. So I help remembering details from conversations, and generally making interactions more efficient by retaining context. So I think that's another thing about AI agents, context switching and hallucination. So now we'll have issue of context switching. So it wants me to accomplish that. So I now cannot tell it I want you to I want you to list out the names of all the current ministers and their ministries in Nigeria. So I'm giving a tax, so and I use probably type with context. So I can't provide a list of current ministers. My government doesn't extend to browsing real-time information. So it's telling you where its limitations are. So we've just done interaction, so we know it's working. So now we can inspect memories of the agent by saving on the cloud console, go to the product page for agent engine and use the search bar. So let's go and see our agent engine on our cloud console. So let's go to the agent engine. So the advantage of working on terminal that they connect your project. So let's see what agent engine has to tell us. Let's start with the Vertex AI engine. I just saw that, but so it's supposed to be here if we are using the if we're using the cloud console. So let's let's go back to where we were. So click on the agent engine name, select your region, view agent instances for this cloud project. So view and manage agent instances on this project. So let's go back there. So let's click on develop agent. We like to view and manage instances. So to use Vertex AI engine, you must first develop an agent that can be deployed on Vertex AI engine. The easiest way to develop an agent is use one of the framework templates. So we have agent ADK already running. So let's go back here. Okay. Here's documentation. Remember, we're using, I think we're in US Central. It's supposed to have us have something here. So there's access for the API key. Let's see the agent guardian. We have something there. I'm getting reset your view. So just but I think we have an API key already tied to, let's use the Google API. So you can see we already have an API key tied to it already. You can see it right here, 700 April. So that's our virtual assistant key. You can see it's already running here. So, so I think we don't really have. Let's go back to our code lab. So now I want to add our web research capability. So remember when we opened our agent earlier, it had told us that it doesn't have this capabilities. So we want it to have the capabilities. So let's just take this to somewhere close to us. So we're going to create a research specialist. Well, let's read through. So to provide high quality information, our agents must perform deep investigations that go beyond a single search query. So by dedicating research to a specialized sub-agent, we must maintain the main person's responsiveness while the researcher handles complex data gathering background. So in this step, we implement a loop agent to achieve research depth, allowing the agent to interactively search, evaluate findings, and refine its queries until it has a complete picture. Here, we're going to define our base agent equipped with Google Search tool to wrap it in a loop agent. So the maximum iterations parameter acts as a governor, ensuring the agent iterates on the search up to 3 times. So let's check what this means in depth. So maximum iteration parameter. So the maximum iteration parameter is a configuration setting used in iterative algorithms and machine learning models. An AI agent framework to define the upper limit on the upper passes cycles or loops the system can perform before stopping. It acts as a safety mechanism to prevent infinite loops and reduce computational costs and ensure that process terminates within a reasonable time frame. So next, a loop agent is ideal for tasks that require multiple steps to reach a conclusion. Each iteration allows the agent to build upon previous search results and refine the investigation. So we're going to create this now. We're going to create the research py in it. We're going to drop our loop agent underneath it too. And we're going to update our root agent also at the same time. So let's tell Gemini that we want to create um, our search specialist. So that's how I want to create my research specialist research.py. So I can come here, then I can end into exit. So let's say I want to create my reset the PY. So Gemini is now thinking for me, and Gemini will be the one that would go through our directory and see what I'm trying to do. So, so what I should have done was to create my set the PY on my own on my terminal into my own directories. So Gemini is now creating my reset the PY agent now, my research agent now. So defining for me what it can tell me if it's going to drop a boilerplate set of instructions or if I should give it my own instructions. So I've just got my own instructions here. Provide my code for so I said, can I provide the code? So I'm going to give it the code. I say Control V, just seeing it, and I hit enter. So here it is, our loop agent and our main research at the top. So you can tell it's telling me I should apply this change. I say one, yes. So next it's going to tell me that it has created my agent already. So the API has been successfully created with the loop agent and research worker definitions. Good. So next I'll tell it I want to update my root agent to PY. So see, so I want to update root agent to PY. Hit enter. So it may tell me that it's seeing two of them, which is agent PY and the executive assistant, or it may use the last configuration. So since it's set to request my input, it's going to, so we're waiting for it. So I'm going to update it with this information. So remember we ended our agent earlier here. So once we update it, we restart it again. It's now reading the file executive assistant agent.py. So I think this is where I had a challenge. I have two of them running. So now it's going to bring it up again and tell me, is it executive assistant I want to update or I just want to update agent.py? So I would inform it that which I'm willing to update. I'll give it our code here. Just thinking about it, and it will inform me when it has viewed all. Gemini is still running. So sometimes you may know what to do, so you can go straight ahead to. So I should just typed in nano agent.py, but let's use this. Okay, so it's asking for my response, so it has picked. I think so let's pick it again. So I think So see 26 lines of code. So let's give it. It said something here that I would update this. Yes, that seems to be the one actually. So you remember it. So even Gemini remembers we used this particular agent.py file. So we can tell it apply the changes. So it has been updated with as a sub-agent and includes instructions for dedicating research tasks. So we updated that, so we can now run our ADK with our memory engine again. So it also remembers that last time we had an error and I requested for a link. So you now check for the web server present to stop them before starting a new one. So that this way has been smart. So it now says this all activity and recently completed background process. So I say allow. It's seeing this is running. So I thought we exited it, but it says it's running. So it said exit code one, exit code one. So stop the current DK server process and start a new one. Restart the DK also apply. So let's say allow of execution kill. So let's kill it and then it starts it. So then I said read the background output, reading output to background, ready. So let's see, it's done it. So it has done it already. So remember the last time I asked it for a link. So this time it doesn't need to give me, it doesn't wait for me to give the link. So I come back here, I close this instance. Let's run this. So and I'll tell it, do you remember our last session? I haven't gotten a response yet. Let's see. Since we're having no, so I can tell it, I got no response from my inputs, and you, I said, I want you to check what is. So you can tell it that I don't know my input, I want to check what is the reason. So it's going to check the back. It said reading output response. The response background process is one. So I do instruction to read. It said it looks like the agent failed to load because the module not found. It's trying to import research agent from research, but research PY is directly but not inside the folder. I'll move research. So you see, it's doing what it's supposed to do. So I knew this redirect would be a problem. So but Gemini is now doing that for me, fixing it. So I remember Gemini created the file, so it knows it created the file and it knows the directory. It's reading all the directories. And since all directories are trusted, it can access them. So shall restart. So it's going to restart our ADK server. So we're going to read it background output. So let's see. Let's close this. So let's go back here. Let's run this. Hi. You can see Gemini is okay. Let's try it again. That's a internet error. So let's try it again. It's loading memory. So you can see here, giving the functional response. I should know. How can I say it? It remembers who I am already. So now, if you go back to our, so let's take this closer to us. So since it remembers us, so let's give it a simple research task: how to write a good tech blog. So let's see. I need some research on how to write. So let's give it that prompt. Let's say I want you to do some research on how to write a good tech blog. So it's going to do that for us. Come to the state, we can see what's going on. It is transferred to agent. So remember this. We're having internet issues, so but that won't be a problem because we get through it. This you can see here it's transferred to agent, transfer to agent, Google search agent. Model is currently experiencing high demand. So the Google search agent is currently experiencing high demand. So so let me go back to Gemini and tell you that I am getting several. But before we change it, let's see. Okay, good. Let's see if we can just make a change. It's not part of it, but let's just try it. I'm getting several. Um, let's use the right words. Hi. So it remembers my last request. So it's loading memory. So it remembers what I requested for, and to also remember what it hasn't given. So you see, it's currently researching on how to do. I'll let you know as soon as I'm. So you see, I didn't need to change anything. So I had to just be patient, and this is it. So that's part of why we had to give it the the load memory too. So it's working. So I can come back later for it. So you see here, you might notice that the agent remembered my name even though it was a new session. Please also take note of the transfer to agent tool call. This is a tool that hands over the task to our new research agent. Okay, so that's why we see that part. We can't get a response yet because our research agent is working. So let's go. Now let's add task management with Cloud SQL. So what is Cloud SQL? What's Cloud SQL? So now Classical SQL is a fully managed relational database service provided by Google Cloud that automates the setup, maintenance, and administration of relational databases. So the core capabilities are supported database engines. It currently supports MySQL, PostgreSQL, and SQL Server. It has automation inbuilt. So Google handles routine and administrative tasks, including automated backups, patching, replication, and encryption. Scalability. Instances can scale vertically, that's increasing CPU and RAM, or horizontally by adding read replicas and high availability. So now with what we're going to do now is going to provision infrastructure. We'll run these commands to create our database. Note instances creation take 5 to 10 minutes, so we can proceed to the next step while this runs in the background. So this is going to take time. So we're going to pick it up and add it to our terminal. So let's see. So define instance variable, export instance name, assistant DB, export user email, gcloud, config get value account, create the cloud SQL instance, database version Postgres 18, tier is equal to database F1 micro, region is US Central 1, the edition is enterprise. Now, what create database for tax? gcloud SQL database create tax instance name. So let's give this to, so let's not tell it we're having several because of loading. So we've pasted our code and we're giving it to Gemini. So one thing we should note, we can come back to this to see what Gemini has for us, because Gemini is going to ask us a couple of questions along the way. And remember, the database instance provisioning will take a few minutes. So this may be a good time to take a cup of coffee or tea or update the code while we wait for it to finish. We just don't forget that we'll come back and finish the access control. So we also go to configure access control, and we need to configure our user account to have access to the database and run the following command on the terminal. So let's see, change this to your favorite password. So you can change your favorite password for the database. Let's see. Let's allow this to finish first of all. So here we are to create. So here what Gemini says is we start by setting up our environment variables and creating the SQL instance. So create the SQL Postgres instance and tax database. So we allow once. So next, wait for it to create that. It's now creating the cloud instance for Postgres 17. So it's thinking. So why I'm using Gemini is that I will be someone who's just new to coding, and I have this task set before me and I have to do this. So while there may not be time to go through some documentation, some learnings, Gemini assists me through the entire process. I have to know what I want also at the other end of it. So that's part of what it is when using an AI tool working on your terminal. So this is still going on. So it's thinking, it's creating the SQL instance. Remember, you have to be using the shift tab to accept edits while it's going on. Tap to focus. So you can see it's show everything. Tap to focus. Again, shift tab again. So it's working in background. So expect your input because it's making some changes at the background. Whenever you see thinking, it means it's working. When you request your input, it tells you to request your input. So you can see because it's seeing me telling it, it's now telling me auto accept. Let's just shift tab to manual. Because remember, it said 5 to 10 minutes for it to, which is written here. Yes, 5 to 10 minutes for the creation to get completed. Let's bring up the pointer again. So this is 5 to 10 minutes. So we're waiting for that to complete. So we're currently on we're currently running this, and after that we'll be configuring access control. So while this is running, this is also this is also still running. It's still doing our research, and it will let us know as soon as it has information. These are events so far. So let's go back to Gemini. So we're patient to see what will come out of this. So even Gemini has told us that it typically takes several minutes to complete. So we're a bit patient. So after this, we'll be configuring access controls, like I said earlier. We would update our environment configuration. We would also create a to-do list, to-do.py. We would also remember that the code above that is for the to do list is responsible for two main things: connecting our Cloud SQL database and providing the list of tools for all common to-do list operations, including adding or removing or marking them complete. So let's continue with this. So once this to come to end, then we would end this part and start a new video for the other tasks under the task management. So once it finishes the provision infrastructure, we'll start a new part as a part two for creating agents. So I would end the video just as the Cloud SQL instance gets completed and start a new part. So let's see, instance, password. So ADK loads a new update agent environment. So we'll start this in the next video.